Maybe your refrigerator bin has been discontinued, or maybe you just want to save $50. Either way, I'm covering 3 different methods for fixing your bins today. If you're like me, you've overstuffed your plastic shelf and cracked it. Unfortunately, these things aren't available anymore for this particular model refrigerator anywhere except maybe eBay, but they're upwards of $50. So you could tape it, but it doesn't hold up for very long, but white electrical tape doesn't look too bad. My favorite fix is free. It's paint sticks, and sometimes they're already white, so they don't even need to be painted. But what I've done is just cut them to just under 9 inches and flex them until they snap into place. It's as simple as that. So I started thinking that not everybody's as tolerant as me about having paint sticks in their refrigerator, even if they're painted white. So I wondered about plexiglass, and I went to the plastic store and got this scrap piece of plexiglass. It's only white because it's got a protective film on it, which I'll take off later. But this is just slightly flexible, not too much, and similar to the paint sticks. I looked up the thickness of a paint stick, and it's 0.124 of an inch. So I wonder if this is similar. Let's see. Actually, it is very similar. It's actually a little less thick, barely. But it's pretty rigid, and I'm going to go ahead and make a template. Okay, so this is a 10 inch by 10 inch piece of plexiglass. I used a rubber band to kind of hold that in place, and then I reached my arm around and hugged it to pull it really tight, so that, because it's a little curved, so that this would be tied up against here, and then I drew it. I accidentally got Sharpie on the shelf, and so I was able to remove it with some nail polish remover, which worked really well. I measured from the bottom to right here where that ridge is, and it is 2 7/8 inches to that point. But it needs to be shorter than there to guarantee that it's going to fit, and no taller. So I'm safer going with the 2 6/8 is what I went with. Since I want the plexiglass to kind of tuck into this a little ways, and it's pretty deep, ooh, 1/4 of an inch deep. So I want this to be that much wider than the template I drew. So I want to make sure I cut it outside by a little less than 1/4 of an inch on either side. So hopefully it'll fit into there. So I'm going to draw that line on there next. The width from here to here is actually a little narrower than the width from here to here. But by the way, did I mention that this whole 10 inch by 10 inch sheet was $1? It's starting to get dark now, and I am terrible with an X-Acto knife, so I'm going to do this with 2 hands. I'm going to just score this across this using this metal square, and I'm going to score it at least probably like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. So in the same exact spot, hopefully, and make sure that it's enough to start snapping off the edge. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so let me show you my failure. I did try to score it along the line. I did a terrible job, like I thought. So I decided to go get the jigsaw, and I started, but it's dark outside, and I was trying to cut in a hurry, and I kind of started getting off the line because and then I tried to snap it to see if it would snap on my original line, but it didn't, just snapped way up here. So in short, the jigsaw works, but you need to have time and light for it, so maybe I'll finish it up tomorrow. So on the end, I went back to the cutter, and then I decided to use some needle nose pliers to snap these off. It's actually working pretty good. It came off in several pieces, but it came off pretty straight. I think I can just sand that. So that's the method I'm going to take after all. eventually I got these snips out and they were able to take off the high points pretty well and also cut along the score lines pretty well. Please be careful of your fingers if you decide to use anything like this. This is how rugged it was after I chipped it away, and now I'm going to sand it. I sanded this top part a little already. See the score marks that I tried to put in there. After I sanded it, I just set it on its end and bowed it a little bit until I could get it into the slot. And this is the final product. It could be improved if you used a jigsaw and did a little more sanding, but I think it's great. I hope these ideas saved you some time and or money. Please like and subscribe. Have a blessed day.